Week 1 of the 2021 college football season featured 3 unranked over ranked upsets. Virginia Tech over number 10 North Carolina, UCLA over number 16 LSU, and most preposterously, FCS school Montana over number 20 Washington, as well as surprising close calls for number 2 Oklahoma, number 7 Iowa State, and number 9 Notre Dame. Will that carnage continue into week 2, or will things temporarily mellow out as we await the meat of the schedule? There are 2 massive showdowns involving the Big Ten this weekend, with Ohio State hosting Oregon and Iowa traveling to Iowa State. Beyond that pair of gems, though, it at least looks on paper like a weekend mostly full of ranked over unranked blowouts. Hello, friends, and welcome to week 2 of Strictly Sports College Football Thursday. I am your host, Anthony Florio, joined, as always, by good old MF Michael Fletcher. Michael Bullock here as well. And before we get into all that, we're going to turn the mic over to good old MF Michael Fletcher for the final time. His final Big 3 basketball recap, and boy howdy, it's the biggest one of all. Last Saturday, the Big 3 championship game went down. They also played a third place game as well. And as soon as MF is ready with his notes and everything else, then we will toss it over to him and we'll let MF do his final Big 3 basketball recap of this season. And oh yes, next summer it will be back by popular demand, no doubt about that. We'll definitely have MF do the Big 3 recaps on our regulation Strictly Sports shows next summer or whenever the next season starts. So championship game went down last Saturday in the Bahamas, and I see by the mic MF is ready. So MF, for the final time this season, hit us with that Big 3 basketball recap. And let me tell you, if you didn't see that championship game, you missed out on why we call this man Screaming Michael Fletcher.
Well, before we got to that, we did have the third place game. Anthony, you alluded to it. It was Tri-State versus the Triplets, and Tri-State blows out the Triplets, wins it, going away, 50-31. Definitely a shocking turn. Nobody even thought that Tri-State was going to blow them out the way they did, and they dominated it more than anything else. Look, Tri-State, tremendous performance, led by Jason Richardson with 22 points. Justin Deadman, 24 points in the game. Normally not really a guy that you would think about having a big game. Not only that, unfortunately, Nate Robinson did not play in the game in a losing effort. It was Allen Anderson with 14 points. Joe Johnson, who was the most dominant player, held to 8 points in the third place game. Tri-State just dominated from beginning to end. And yeah, Anthony, like you said, they knocked them out. They knocked them clear out. Dominating performance, as you would say, going, and it leads us to the championship game, the final match of the Big 3. The title was on the line sorry about that. As it was the three-headed monster going up against Trilogy in the final. Now, this was absolutely crazy. Listen to this, guys. In the first half alone, it was 26-13, three-headed monster. The lead got up to as more than 16 points at one point in the game. And then the comeback started with Jared Jack with 29 points, Amir Johnson with 10 points, and Isaiah Briscoe with 7 points. They started to chip the lead away, started to get back, coming down from 16 down, got it to 37-37, a tie game. They took the lead by 4. Then the three-headed monster came back. It was a jousting match. Got to no more than 3. Then it got down to 2. 2-point lead. It was 47-45. Jarrett Jack nails the three-pointer to win the Big 3 title for Trilogy. Yes, screaming Michael Fletcher moment. I get it. Ha ha. But it was by far one of the best finals I've ever seen in the Big 3. The Trilogy wins the title for the second time in their team's history. They win the Big 3 50-45 over three-headed monsters. But more importantly, for Trilogy, as a special added bonus, for them to win the Big 3, they get to keep their roster intact. They do not lose any players. So going into next year, Jerry Jack, Amir Johnson, Isaiah Briscoe, James White, Devin Sweetney, and Quartel Woods will be members of Trilogy going into next year. They get to keep their roster. As far as the three-headed monsters goes, I do believe they get to keep some of their players. I do believe they get to keep Reggie Evans, Rashard Lewis, and Kevin Murphy remain on the team. But it's over, guys. That's the season. Big 3 in the books. The winners. And once again, the Big 3 champions for the second time in their history, the Trilogy captures the Dr. J Trophy. Anthony, it's yours.
All right. Thank you very much indeed, MF. Great job on that. And, oh, yes, next Big 3 season, we're definitely bringing you back for those recaps, man. No doubt about that. So, because I know they were very popular amongst our fan base. So, oh, yeah, we're definitely bringing that back next year, no doubt. So, so with that being said, let's get into week number 2 of the college football season. Top 25 action. We got a loaded docket, guys, so let's not waste any more time getting into this. We're going to start it off with the game that's going to go down tomorrow night on ESPN. It'll be well, actually, no, it'll be on ESPN2, I beg your pardon. ESPN2, 7:30. The number 17, Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. They will be at home, and they will be squaring off against the Kansas Jayhawks. And just, all right, Kansas and Coastal Carolina. That will be at the Brooks Stadium in Conway, South Carolina, over on ESPN2. Jason Benetti, Andre Ware, Paul Carcaterra will be on the call. Coastal Carolina opening up as a 26.5-point favorite. So there's not really much to say on this. It's kind of amazing that this game is once again getting a platform almost to itself. In mid-September last year, before the Mountain West or Pac-12 seasons had begun, Coastal Carolina and at Kansas kicked off at 10 o'clock Eastern on a Saturday night, meaning that by halftime, it was the only game still being played. Little did we know at the time that we were all watching the first of 11 consecutive victories for the Chanticleers. This time around, Coastal Carolina is very much on the national radar for what figures to be the only Friday night game worth watching in Week 2. And a repeat of the Chanticleers jumping out to an early 28-0 lead is well within the realm of possibility, considering Kansas needed a touchdown late in the fourth quarter just to survive its season opener against South Dakota. Coastal Carolina rolls 45-7. Not much more to say. MF, Coastal Carolina, easy win against Kansas tomorrow night.
Yeah, I agree with that too. So Coastal Carolina wins. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I got Coastal Carolina winning this one. Yeah, I mean, I see this great run of them continuing. I got them winning in a laugher here. So, yeah, so quick update, of course, with the opener on in the NFL. The Buccaneers lead at 28-19 with just about 6.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. And I got one question for you, Florio. How is Tom Brady still doing it at 44 years old?
The grace of God, man. It's the grace of God. That's all there is to it. God blessed him with a gift. That's all there is to it. So, you may not like him. I mean, MF and I, we certainly have a love-hate relationship with Tom Brady because of all the dominance with New England against the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins, respectively. But even though we may not, we may hate his guts, but at the same time, we cannot help but respect him. I respect him for his work ethic and his ability, and I see a little of myself in him. So that's really all there is to say on that. So, and Bullock's got the jersey on, as you see, the Tampa Bay Buccaneer jersey from the last Super Bowl, which the Bucs won in their home stadium, 31-9. And let's not forget, this Saturday night, I'm assuming at this time, or a time to be determined, it will be the season premiere of Strictly Sports NFL Saturday. And we're going to be all over that. So looking forward to that. We'll keep an eye on if anything happens significant. So not much more to say. Let's get back into this. Gentlemen, we're doing things a little backwards this time around because we're actually going to be getting into the main event right here and right now, the game of the week in college football, which will, for this week, it'll be at high noon on Fox Big Saturday. The number 3 Ohio State Buckeyes, their home opener at the Horseshoe Ohio Stadium in Columbus, and they're going to be hosting the number 12 Oregon Ducks. You see a match like this, you can't help but think Rose Bowl. I mean, because this is definitely a Rose Bowl worthy match. This will be over on Fox, of course, and who's working this. You don't need an announcer sheet for this. Gus Johnson, Joel Klatt, the All-American girl, Jenny Taft, they'll be there. Ohio State opening up as a 14.5-point favorite. MF, I mean, started with you. It's only fitting we start this with you because if this doesn't scream Rose Bowl worthy matchup, then what does?
Yeah, no, this is traditional Rose Bowl. This is a traditional Rose Bowl matchup. The Big Ten versus the Pac-12. This is one of those battles that could define, the season for either team. Of course, Ohio State, definitely a favorite. A lot of people believe that they could get to the Rose, that they could be playing in the college football playoff this year. A lot of people believe that they could do it. And, this will be an interesting matchup. And then, yes, Anthony, the way that this could go, it can go a number of routes. So this is an interesting battle, to say the very least. But, it is what it is. It's going to be one hell of a battle. But I do have Ohio State winning. I do believe the 14 points is a little high. Kind of partially disrespectful to Oregon. I know Eric Carrier will say that it's very disrespectful to the Oregon Ducks to do them like that. But, you are going to the Horseshoe. You are going to Columbus. 9 times out of 10, they're almost dominating in Columbus when they play. So, yeah, I got Ohio State winning this game. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a little more closer than when the expert have it. 27-17. Ohio State wins. Mike Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, this definitely has the makings of a Rose Bowl type matchup when you got the Big Ten and the Pac-12 going at it, and for them to go at it this early in the season, man, oh man, who knows? Maybe it could be a preview of the Rose Bowl. I know it's a little early to talk about it, but who knows? But we'll wait and see on that. But the 14.5 is a little bit disrespectful. I think it's going to be closer than what the experts are thinking. But in the end, I expect Ohio State to come out on top. But for Oregon, if they're going to have any chance to pull off the upset in the Horseshoe, they need to get off to a fast start and basically take the crowd out of it right away. If they can do that and get Ohio State to play their game, they just might do it. But in the end, I got Ohio. Yeah, go ahead, Flex.
The one thing I would say, and I'm going to talk about this, Oregon has been known to use a fast tempo offense. They love to run very fast, very quick. They love to use it because what they do is they use what the Chip Kelly style of Oregon, which is tempo, 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 tempo. They are fast. They move the ball quickly. They do the plays very quickly. They don't do that much time. And Ohio State is one of those teams that actually loves to grind the football, use a lot of clock, use a lot of things. In order to beat Ohio State, you got to limit their possessions. So for me, and I'm gonna be let me go analyst mode here for you guys. To beat Ohio State, you just got to slow the game down on them. You got to be you almost have to do what you almost got to play like an NFL style football. You basically got to play keep away with them. You got to grind it with the running game, which Oregon has a decent run game, but nothing more.
So basically, it's like go on a nice long drive and basically keep that Ohio State offense off the field. That's what they got to do here, and play that tempo. So, but in the end, I got Ohio State winning. So, Florio, it is yours.
Yeah. Without knowing the status of Kayvon Thibodeau's injured ankle, it is just about impossible to create an informed opinion on this. Minnesota got basically no backfield penetration against Ohio State. The Golden Gophers were unable to record a single sack, and they only managed one tackle for loss. And yet it wasn't until the second half that redshirt freshman quarterback C.J. Stroud started looking comfortable in the pocket, throwing darts downfield and leading the Buckeyes back from a halftime deficit. If Thibodeau was anywhere close to fully healthy, the best pass rusher in the nation could immediately get Stroud right back out of that comfort zone he found in the third quarter against Minnesota. That could make this an extremely interesting game with obvious college football playoff implications. If Thibodeau was unable to go, though, Ohio State wins in a blowout. Oregon's defense went from suffocating to mediocre in a hurry against Fresno State. Once Thibodeau got hurt and Jake Haener had time to dissect a rebuilding Duck secondary, either way, Oregon quarterback Anthony Brown is likely going to have trouble with Ohio State's defense. The unknown is whether Ohio State's offense cruises to 49 points or struggles to 31. Considering Thibodeau was in a walking boot in the second half, though, I'm leaning toward the former. So Ohio State, I got Ohio State winning this game 42-24. And the Dallas Cowboys have just scored a touchdown. Dak Prescott with a touchdown pass to Amari Cooper, 28-26. Tampa Bay leading Dallas. And if this game is any indication, this game already, already going in, all the experts were dubbing this the biggest season ever. And if we're gonna get damn near 5-star classics like this every week, oh boy. And I know we'll have a lot more to say on that come Saturday night. But for right now, 28-26, Tampa Bay leading Dallas. With the way this is going, this is definitely heading towards 5-star territory, no doubt about it. So, all right. So with that being said, let's move on to our next matchup, and it will be and it's the only other noon kickoff. High noon over on the SEC network. It will be the number 25 Auburn Tigers. Auburn back in the top 25. They're going to be hosting Alabama State at Jordan-Hare Stadium in Auburn. And I'm trying to find who's working this. Okay, it'll be Dave Neal with Deuce McAllister. If there's a sideline reporter, I don't know. I have a very limited announcer sheet this time around, so my apologies for that. There is no spread. I don't see a spread here, but you got to imagine Auburn's got to be a very sizable favorite here. So not much more to say here. So Michael Bullock, sounds like a cupcake here for Auburn.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a cupcake game here. I mean, good to see Auburn back in the top 25 here. So I think you're going to see them there come next week, because I see them having no problem with Alabama State. So Auburn wins. Flory, what's yours?
Yeah, it's going to be Auburn here. There is no doubt about this. This is definitely a gimme here for Auburn. Lindsey McCormick and friends, you have nothing to worry about here, no doubt about it. So I have Auburn winning. I'm not even going to bother with a score. So I got Auburn easy MF.
Yeah, this is Auburn as well. Alabama State is not known as well. This is kind of like the proverbial doormat type moment for them. I'm pretty sure Auburn should handle their business, win this very comfortably. So, Anthony, next game.
All right, and next up we have a 1:00 kickoff. This is going to be a 1:00 kickoff over on ABC. It's going to be the number 13 Florida Gators squaring off against the South Florida Bulls from Raymond James Stadium, Tampa, Florida. And on the call for that one, it'll be Bob Wischusen and an announcer that MF. I noticed on MF's Twitter account that he was loving this guy, Dan Orlovsky. I know MF's a big fan of his, so I'm sure MF's going to address him when we get to him. But Bob Wischusen, Dan Orlovsky, they'll be calling this South Florida game on ABC on Saturday. And let's see if we have a spread for this one. Yes, Florida opening up as a 28.5-point favorite, and rightfully so. So I'll take this for a spin here. In Florida's 2020 season opener, the Gators threw for 446 yards and 6 touchdowns. This year, only 153 yards with a score and 2 picks. However, they did rush for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns against what had been a solid Florida Atlantic defense over the past 2 years. Unless Dan Mullen insists upon getting Emory Jones warmed up for the amount of throwing he'll need to do next week against Alabama, which, spoiler alert, that's our game of the week next week. Expect something similar against the South Florida defense that just allowed 293 rushing yards in a 45-0 loss to NC State. Florida rolls 52-7. Not much more to say. MF, I didn't know you were a big Dan Orlovsky fan. What's the story with that?
Dan Orlovsky actually caught me by surprise, man. You know what? This is one of those where I don't know what Orlovsky was ripping, firing on a couple of teams because he was doing the Michigan game last week, and he was just absolutely a savage. Talking about, making a Pat McAfee reference on the punter, on the kicker, and the whole 9 yards. And some of the stuff that he was talking about, Orlovsky really caught me, man. He got me, and I was like, "Look at you, you little prison thief! You started stealing. You were stealing the." I was like, "Oh, all right, Dan. I see your play. Okay, bro. I got you for the brand, man. I'm with you, man." So yeah, I mean, he did a really good job. He caught me off guard. I thought he was just a motor mouth type of idiot, one of those little gumpy morons about NFL. But no, he pleasantly surprised me, man. He's a damn good color analyst, man. I can't say nothing bad about him, man. He did an amazing job. But I can't wait to hear what he's got to say. Can't wait to see what type of savagery he's going to bring. Even though Florida's going to be is going to have some gator bait and be chomping on Saturday. So, yeah, nothing more to say. So, Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I mean, I got Florida winning this one over South Florida. I mean, it's not even going to be a close one. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to say. So, Florio, let's move on.
All righty. And next up, it'll be a 2:00 kickoff. And this will be over on the ACC network. Here's another team back in the top 25, and rightfully so. the number 19 Virginia Tech Hokies, and they will be once again at home at the legendary Lane Stadium / Warsham Field in Blacksburg, Virginia, and they're going to be hosting Middle Tennessee, and this will be over on the ACC network. I don't have the announcers for that one. I do apologize because I'm working off a very limited announcer sheet this time around. But Virginia Tech opening up as a 20-point favorite. So MF Virginia Tech with the first big upset of this 2021 season as they knocked off Carolina last Friday night.
Yeah, and not only did they knock them off, they embarrassed North Carolina. That wasn't even close. Carolina had a whole bunch of hype and everything else, and Virginia Tech is like, yeah, here's your hype. You're overrated. Get out. So basically, that was they were saying. Basically, shut it all of us off. We all had North Carolina going into that game, and we were all like, whoa, okay, Hokies, we see you. All right, well played, my friends. You once in a rare while we get egg in the face, and boy, we were on yolks on that one. So tremendous performance. They'll pick it right up. We're gonna pick up right where they left off. They'll get a big win here. Look, they just need to keep going. You know, you need those statement wins because that's how you get noticed with like guys like us. You do performances like you did against North Carolina. Trust me, you got our attentions. Now it's just how do you go from there? So nothing more to say. Mike Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, like you basically said, I mean, it was a statement win for the Hokies, basically making the three of us look with egg on our faces for picking Carolina, saying, "All right, you guys want to pick against us? Well, all right, we're going to show you." And boy, howdy, they showed everybody what they were made of and then some. So, yeah, so I got Virginia Tech winning this one as well. So, nothing else to say. Florio, it's yours.
Yeah. Not knowing what to make of Virginia Tech from one week to the next is one of college football's most frustrating annual traditions. Impressive victories or strong showings against title contenders are liable to be immediately followed by a 5-touchdown loss to an unranked team or vice versa. So even though Vatek's 17-10 win over then number 10 North Carolina was one of the biggest upsets of the opening weekend, we simply cannot rule out the possibility of an embarrassing performance against MTSU. But then again, the Blue Raiders allowed 11 tackles for loss in their opener against Monmouth, and it was Virginia Tech's relentless backfield pressure, 6 sacks, 9 tackles for loss, that caused major problems for the Tar Heels offense. I'm far from convinced that the Hokies have the offense to vie for an ACC championship, but they should at least have the defense to take care of this Conference USA foe. Virginia Tech wins 30-6, so not much more to say. Now we're going to move on to the 2:30 kickoff. And I'm going to have some fun with this. The number 8, Notre Dame Fighting Irish, home opener, Notre Dame Stadium, and they're going to be squaring off against Toledo. Now, you think Notre Dame home game, you're thinking, oh, this will be on NBC. No, not on NBC. Not this time. At least not this game. Just this game. All other Notre Dame home games will be on NBC. But this one here, this one only, will be exclusive to Peacock. Yes, if you want to see the so for all of my fellow Golden Domers out there, we got to go to Peacock. Not a problem for me because I've got it. In fact, I'm watching the Cowboy Buccaneer game on that right now. So and I'll definitely check in with Notre Dame, no doubt about that. As they host Toledo. Mike Tirico, the newest member of the Notre Dame family, Drew Brees. Yes, that Drew Brees. He's going to be working with Mike Tirico. And you also have the beautiful Catherine Tappan on the sidelines. Notre Dame opening up as a 17-point favorite against the Toledo Rockets. So I believe this goes to Michael Bullock. So Bullock, oh boy. Last Sunday night was a banner night, not just because of that epic AEW All Out pay-per-view, but what a game between Notre Dame and Florida State. The game of the week, 5-star Shakespearean drama classic, and then some. But Notre Dame, woo, they survived.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, Florio, but I think Notre Dame took Florida State maybe just a little too lightly, and obviously also because it was Florida State's first home game since the passing of the legendary Bobby Bowden. So obviously, I mean, those two things I think factor in why this game turned out to be much closer than what we expected. But I expect Notre Dame to have no problem with Toledo here. I mean, it's the first home game for them, and yeah, I got Notre Dame winning this one. So there's really nothing more to say. So Florio, it's yours.
Yeah. Though the Fighting Irish won in overtime, they were victimized by big plays from the Florida State offense, and Toledo is no stranger to chunk gains. The Rockets averaged nearly 21 gains of at least 10 yards a game in 2020, and they averaged 7.9 yards a play in their opening win over Norfolk State. Don't expect this game to be particularly close because Notre Dame's offense also proved quite explosive with Jack Cohn running the show. However, maybe do expect a couple of big plays followed by a lot of people questioning whether Notre Dame's defense is good enough to run the table. But I got Notre Dame winning this one comfortably, 42-21, Notre Dame over Toledo in the home opener. So remember, Peacock only. That's the only way you'll get it, Golden Domers. So not much more to say. MF, oh boy, Notre Dame survived by the skin of their teeth. And oh yes, I was sweating bullets. That about it.
Yeah, but the thing was that if you really think about it, it was a great performance by Notre Dame. You know, they had to weather the storm. You knew they were going to be that Florida State was going to be very emotional. This was the first game since the passing of Terry Bowden, of Bobby Bowden. And the thing is that the way that Florida State played, they played inspired. They wanted this one, and you knew it too. And Notre Dame, you know, I don't think it was lackadaisical. I think they just got caught off guard. I think they got caught off guard with the moment, with the emotion. I think they did not realize what they were walking into. And when they did, they got punched in the mouth. And they did not see this coming. But credit to the amazing play, to the heart and the offense that they had going in with the job that they needed it to do. They did everything that they needed to win that game. And they just had enough in the tank to get the job done. It wasn't a pretty game. And in Notre Dame standards, yeah, they did not execute a lot of great plays. And it was it wasn't the best performance, but it was inspiring. If you're a Notre Dame fan, you're thinking, well, we got away with one. We could have blown that game, but we didn't. We came back, we got the job done. That's a big win for us, but we cannot afford another performance like that. Because you go up against a better team, you play like you played against Florida State, and you play like that to name a team, a really good team on your schedule this year, Anthony. You're not coming out with the W with that. You will lose that game. So, I mean, Florida State could have won it. They let a couple of plays get away from them. But all in all, this was an incredible performance, and congratulations to Notre Dame. They should bounce back. This is an easy game for them to win. And like you said, I know a lot of people is going to be like, why is it not on NBC? Why is it going to be on Peacock? Hey, we don't make the rules here. Peacock decided that we want to get in on this Notre Dame fun, but don't worry, folks. This is only 1 week and 1 week only. It will be back on the network next week or the next game, whenever that next home game is, you'll have it on Peacock and NBC just for 1 week only. And I understand why, because it's a cupcake team. Toledo is not really that great. Notre Dame should crush them, and that's that. So, Florio, it's yours.
Absolutely. So with that, let's move on to our next matchup. We got 4 3:30 games on the docket here, and we're gonna start it off with the now number 2 Made in Georgia Bulldogs. Their home opener, Sanford Stadium, Athens, Georgia, and they're going to be hosting the Blazers of UAB. And this will be over on ESPN2, and it'll be Mark Jones, Robert Griffin III, former Heisman Trophy winner, now on the ESPN broadcast team, and Quint Kessenich will be on the sidelines for that one. And Georgia opening up as a 24-point favorite in this one. So with that, I believe I start this one off here. So it took 25 minutes for UAB to get on the scoreboard in its 31-0 victory over Jacksonville State. And the Blazers may well go the full 60 minutes without reaching pay dirt against Georgia's elite defense. But will UGA's offense wake up in this one after managing just 256 total yards against Clemson? Even against the Tigers and even without most of his top receiving threats, no one expected to see JT Daniels struggle that mightily. Things should go much better this weekend for what was one of the top preseason Heisman candidates. At any rate, there will be a lot of people legitimately concerned about the Bulldogs' offense if that isn't the case. Georgia, they should win this one rather comfortably, no doubt about it. 35-6, I got Georgia all over UAB. But MF, I mean, maybe the biggest surprise of the week. I mean, Georgia, Clemson, we were expecting a 5-star shootout. If you like defense like this guy does, I've known MF for a very long time, and MF loves defense. And MF, I'm sure when you saw that Georgia Clemson game, you had a big old Cheshire cat grin on your face, Mr. Defense.
This is all I have, and I have not. This has not been removed for about a week. You're absolutely right. This was a heck of a game. It was an incredible matchup, and without a doubt, and without a doubt, this was a great game. Georgia did what it needed it to do. They needed a game like this. Tough, gridiron, no nonsense, battle to the end, and they won the battle. They won this. They earned it. They deserved it. They dug down deep and did everything they needed it to do to get the job done, and that's exactly what they did. So hats off to Georgia. That was a big win for them, and I think they're going to continue that momentum. I think they're going to win again, and you know what? This could be a sign of really good things. Everybody talks about Georgia, but we'll wait and see how this plays out. But yeah, without a doubt, this was incredible. So nothing more to say. Mike Bullock, I got the Made in Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah, I mean, I got the Made in Georgia Bulldogs winning this one as well. I mean, after what they did to Clemson, there's a reason why they are now the number 2 team in the nation, and they're going to prove it again here. So, yeah, I got Georgia winning this one. So, Florio, it's yours.
All right, and we move on to our next 3:30 matchup. The number 5 Texas A&M Aggies on the road. They're going to be squaring off against the Colorado Buffaloes from Empower Field at Mile High, the home of the Broncos. Yeah, it's going to be there for this one. 3:30 kickoff. This will be over on Fox. Joe Davis, Brock Heward, Bruce Feldman, they will be there. And Texas A&M opening up as a 17-point favorite. So I believe we start this with MF. So MF, number 5 Texas A&M, squaring off against Colorado at the home of the Broncos in Power Field at Mile High. How about it?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good matchup, but I got to go with the Aggies. I mean, I really think Texas A&M is going to get the job done. Colorado's going to give them some fits. I will give you that, but I think the Aggies are going to win. So Texas A&M, Bullock is yours.
Yeah, I think this could be a good game here, no doubt about it. But yeah, I mean Texas A&M, they're just too good, and yeah, so I got the Aggies winning this one. So Florio, it is yours.
The start of the Haynes King era as Texas A&M quarterback was less than stellar. He threw for 292 yards and a pair of scores in a 41-10 win over Kent State, but he also tossed 3 interceptions, 2 of them in the red zone, and merely led A&M to 10 first-half points against a defense that had been pretty terrible in recent years. That doesn't mean you should sell all of your stock in the Aggies, as they do have an excellent rushing attack and one more month to prepare for the big showdown with Alabama. But let's all keep a close eye on King's Week 2 play against the mediocre Colorado secondary. A&M wins 35-17, total agreement. So with that being said, get into our next game. Next 3:30 kickoff. The number 7 Cincinnati Bearcats, once again at their home, Nippert Stadium in Cincinnati, and they're going to be hosting the Racers of Murray State. 3:30 kickoff. This will be over on ESPN Plus. You can check this game out on ESPN Plus for those who have it. Connor Onion and Bobby Carpenter will be on the call, and looking to see if there's a spread for this one. I don't believe there is a spread, but you have to imagine Cincinnati's got to be a very, very sizable favorite here. So I don't know who's
That would be me.
It is you, Bullock. Okay. So Michael Bullock, Cincinnati, there is no spread. You got to imagine Cincinnati's got to be a very sizable favorite against Murray State.
Yeah, they got to be a sizable favorite against a team like Murray State. So obviously because of that, I got Cincinnati winning this one in a lapper. They should have no problem here. So Florio, it's yours.
Oh yeah, no question about it, Bullock. In the past 15 years, Murray State has faced 5 FBS opponents ranked in the AP Top 25, losing each of those 5 games by at least 45 points. And Cincinnati was ahead 42-0 late in the fourth quarter of its Week 1 win over Miami of Ohio. Not only would a Murray State victory be one of the most shocking upsets in college football history, but I would be astounded if Desmond Ridder and Jerome Ford are still on the field in the final 15 minutes of this blowout. Cincinnati, easy win, 59-7. Cincinnati all over Murray State. No question about it. So with that being said, MF should be an easy one for another layup for Cincy here.
Cincinnati has a chance to run the table and go to the college football playoff.
Wow.
They have a team that if they put it all together, they can make the college football playoff. They could prevent one of the Power Fives getting in. This is the year, if there's any year where a non-Power Five could get in, Cincinnati has the makeup, has the offense, the defense, and the wherewithal, and maybe the right formula of strength of schedule and everything going in, where they could make a run to the college football playoff, barring any mess-ups by your Ohio States, by your Alabamas, by your Georgias, by your Oklahomas, Texas A&Ms, whatever. If any team is 1 loss, maybe 2, and Cincinnati goes undefeated, there is nothing that would tell me through the eyeball test that the Bearcats should not be in the playoffs. I'm going to make that very clear. They would have to run the table. They would have to win it all. But more importantly, they would have to get the job done. Nothing more to say. Um, yeah. This Michael Bullock, Cincinnati wins. It's all yours.
Well, Bullock started it off. So with that being said, let's get into our final 3:30 kickoff. The number 11 Penn State Nittany Lions, their home opener, Beaver Stadium, Happy Valley, and they're going to be hosting the Cardinals of Ball State. And this game will be over on Fox Sports 1, FS1, and it'll be Aaron Goldsmith and Mark Helfrich on the call, and Penn State opening up as a 22.5-point favorite. So I gotta tell you, before I get into my notes, what a game with Penn State and Wisconsin, man. I mean, that was a 5-star classic, Shakespearean drama at its finest, and what a big win for Penn State, man. I mean, none of us saw that coming. I mean, what a big win. Camp Randall Stadium is not an easy place to win, but somehow, some way, them boys pulled it off. Unbelievable. But anyways, you could try to talk yourself into an upset because Ball State reeled off 7 consecutive wins to end the 2020 season. But I know I and all of us can't do it. We just can't. Ball State secondary allowed way too many yards, 437 to be exact, against FCS foe Western Illinois last week. Penn State's defense was too good against Wisconsin, and the Nittany Lions have feasted on the Mid-American Conference in recent years, winning their last 8 games against this league by a combined margin of 260 points. That said, I do suspect Ball State will do a decent amount of scoring. Penn State held Wisconsin to 10 points, but there were 3 Badgers drives inside the PSU 10 that resulted in no points. Wisconsin's 29 first downs in that game suggests this defense isn't the brick wall that everyone has since been advertising it to be. But nonetheless, I got Penn State. They should win. They should still win rather. They should still win rather comfortably in their home opener. 41-23, Penn State over Ball State. MF, I mean, like I said, what a win for Penn State. Maybe the biggest statement win of last week when Penn State went into Wisconsin and stole one.
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy to do what they did. It is never easy to go into Madison and steal one from the Badgers. But Penn State did. That's a defining win for the season for them. That's a big moment for them. You just caught the attention of the Big Ten and everybody. Big win, big outcome. There's really nothing more to add here. So yeah, that's a huge marker for them, and it's upward and onward now for them as well. So nothing more to say. Great performance. Penn State wins again. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I got Penn State winning this one as well. I mean, yeah, like you said, going into Camp Randall Stadium and pulling that off is not an easy thing, but somehow they got the job done, and yeah, so there's really nothing more to add to it. So, Florio, let's move on. I got Penn State winning here.
Of course, and we move on to a 4:00 kickoff. This will be over on the SEC Network. The number 1 team in all the land, your reigning, defending, undisputed college football playoff national champion, Alabama Crimson Tide, their home opener at Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa, and they're going to be squaring off against Mercer. Yeah, Mercer, over on the SEC Network. Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers, Cole Kubelik, they are going to be on the call for that, and no surprise, there's no spread. You have to imagine Alabama's got to be an infinity favorite in this one. So there isn't much more to say. I believe it goes to MF to start. MF, I think we got 2 words for Mercer. And you know those 2 words I would like to say about Alabama. Next victim.
Yeah, Alabama absolutely dominated. Great game against Miami, just absolutely shut them down. And now you're going up against Mercer. Yeah, this will be over by the first half. Uh, Alabama should win this one pretty handily. Nothing more to say. Mike Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, Alabama wins in a laugher, and it's roll tide roll, baby. So nothing else to say. Florio, it's yours.
Yeah, next victim indeed. Bama. I mean, wow. I mean, what a game against the U. Unbelievable. But the last time Alabama faced Mercer, it was a beatdown of biblical proportions. It was 4 years ago. Alabama won 56-0, and the Crimson Tide darn near had as many offensive touchdowns, 8, as Mercer had first downs, 9. The Bears opened their 2021 campaign with a 69-0 win over Point University, but they might be on the opposite end of a similar margin this week. It's really just a question of when Nick Saban feels like letting up and keeping his starters healthy for next week's big road game against Florida, which once again is our game of the week next week. Alabama in a laugher, 52-3, all over Mercer. So not much more to say. Gentlemen, let's get into the other half of our big double main event. This is the number 2 game of the week. 4:30 kickoff over on ABC. The number 9, Iowa, and it's the Battle of Iowa. The number 9, Iowa State Cyclones, hosting the number 10, Iowa Hawkeyes. Jack Trice Stadium, Ames, Iowa, over on ABC. And it's the A team, but the thing is, not Chris Fowler. It's going to be Reese Davis. So Reese Davis will be stepping in for Chris Fowler. Obviously, U.S. Open commitments, because, you know, the U.S. Open of tennis is exclusive to ESPN. Chris Fowler is the voice of that. So, and we should be getting right around finals right around then. So Chris Fowler will be
Actually,
out.
it will on that night. It will be the women's championship game or the championship match for the women, and I believe it is at least one of the men's semifinals on that night as well. The men's final would be on Sunday.
Traditionally, yes. So it'll be Reese Davis with Kirk Herbstreit and their new sideline reporter Holly Rowe. They will be at Iowa State for that one. And Iowa State opening up as a 4.5-point favorite. So I believe this number 2 game of the week goes to Michael Bullock, I believe. So Bullock, the Battle of Iowa. Number 9, Iowa State hosting number 10, Iowa on ABC. So Bullock, what are your thoughts on our other big main event?
Man, oh man, this is gonna be something really good here. I mean, oh man, this is a tough one here. I mean, this is a game that could go either way here, but oh man, this is definitely not easy. Like I just said here, but I gotta go with Iowa State here. I mean, I think they're the much better team here, but I would not be surprised if Iowa can pull off somewhat of it would be an upset here. So yeah, I got them winning this one. So Florio, it is yours. All I can say is this is gonna be, as Booker T would say, good.
Yeah, so you got Iowa State winning. So all right. So this is the biggest, quote unquote, try not to overreact to what you saw in week 1 matchup. Iowa State's defense was fine, but its offense was a hot mess in a 16-10 nail-biter against Northern Iowa. There weren't many negative plays, however, but the Cyclones had an unusual amount of difficulty establishing the run. And though Brock Purdy completed better than 80% of his pass attempts, they simply weren't as potent without star tight end Charlie Kolar, who missed the game with a lower body injury. Outside of an opening drive in which it went 67 yards in 4 plays, Iowa's offense wasn't any better in a 34-6 win over Indiana. The Hawkeyes managed just 236 yards of total offense over the game's final 58 minutes as quarterback Spencer Petras completed less than 50% of his passes. But because Riley Moss had a pair of pick sixes in the first half, it felt like Iowa dominated that game much more than it actually did. In summation, we're looking at two excellent defenses and a pair of offenses that left a lot to be desired in week one. I'm not saying we are destined for a repeat of the Georgia-Clemson game that did not have a single offensive touchdown, but we are talking about a rivalry in which neither team scored 20 points in either of the past two meetings. That trend will continue, and I expect Kolar to both play and prove to be the difference in this one. I'm going with Iowa State to win as well. My final score, low-scoring game, 17-13, Iowa State over Iowa. So not much more to say. MF, based on what I've seen, I think this could end up being another MF defensive special.
This could, yeah, very much so. Both teams are really good on the defensive side of the ball. I kind of feel like at the end of the day, this is one of those where I believe that it will be. I think Iowa State will win it. It is going to be close. I do agree. 17-13 is going to be the right score. Nothing more to say. So Anthony, it's yours.
All right, moving on. We have a 5 o'clock kickoff over on the ACC network. The now number 6 Clemson Tigers, their home opener at Memorial Stadium in Death Valley. And they will be squaring off against South Carolina State. This game will be over on the ACC network. Dave O'Brien, Tim Hasselbeck, and I believe their new sideline reporter, Kelsey Riggs, will be on the call for that one. And no spread here. You have to imagine Clemson's got to be a very sizable favorite. And you know they're going to be hopping mad after that putrid performance against Georgia last Saturday night. It should be interesting to look at Clemson's season averages on offense 2 weeks into the season. After getting nearly shut out by Georgia, the Tigers now get to face a South Carolina State defense that allowed 569 yards of total offense in a 42-41 loss to Alabama A&M last week. When these teams last met in 2016, Clemson scored 45 points in the first 21 minutes. Expect something similar with the Tigers looking to both establish their offense and let out some frustrations. This is the rout of the week right here. Clemson in a major laugher, 69-3. Clemson all over South Carolina State. MF, you got to feel bad for South Carolina State because you know Clemson after last week, they're going to be coming with the team.
They're coming. Oh, they're mad. They're mad. The Bayou Bengals are ticked. I mean, you the Clemson Tiger, man, you don't want a Tiger when they're feasting, they're hungry, and they're pissed. And this is what Clemson is. They felt like they let one get away against Georgia. They felt like they did not play their best game at all. They felt like they were embarrassed. And now Dabo Swinney is going to have those boys fired up than ever before because now they're going to look for an absolute retribution after that. Nothing more to say. Clemson in a laugher, like you said. Bullock, is yours.
Yeah, this is gonna be it's gonna be an absolute laugher, no doubt about it. After that putrid performance by Clemson, you know they're gonna be hopping mad. So yeah, this is Clemson in a laugher. Florio, it's yours.
All right, now we're going to move on to the primetime games, gentlemen. 7 o'clock. I don't know which network this will be on, but it's going to be for the first of our 7 o'clock games. We got 4 of them. We got the now number 4, Oklahoma Sooners. And this time they're going to be the home team this is going to be on the Oklahoma pay-per-view. That's where you can find it. Oklahoma pay-per-view. Number 4, Oklahoma, they're going to be hosting Western Carolina, and for the second week in a row, they'll be at their home stadium. But as you know, last week, they actually were the road team, despite the game being in their home stadium. because the game was supposed to be at Tulane, but obviously with the devastation of Ida in the Louisiana area, they had to move the game to Norman with Tulane as the home team. But this time, Oklahoma will be the home team when they host Western Carolina. So just to clear that up. Oklahoma pay-per-view with Chad McKee and Chuck Long. They'll be the announcers for that game. And it's time for a major big old spread here, gentlemen. Oklahoma, I can confirm, we actually have a spread, hard to believe. Oklahoma, guys, opening up as a 46.5 point favorite.
Ouch.
So I believe this goes to MF. So MF, we got 2 words for Western Carolina. Boomer Sooner.
Yeah, Boomer Sooner, no doubt about it. Those odds look bad. 46. Eesh. I don't know. I don't know what my boys on the Hammer Down boys would say about that. I mean, that might be a little too high. I don't know. 46 seems a little too high there, but I guess we'll wait and see how it goes. But yeah, that's quite a spread. Oklahoma wins easily. Bullock, go.
This is it's gonna be Boomer Sooner all day long here, or all night long, as it's gonna be. So nothing more to say. Florio, it is yours.
Oh yeah, Boomer Sooner indeed for Jim Ross, Dede, and Kevin Woodson. Oklahoma desperately needs a confidence builder after its close call against Tulane. Enter Western Carolina. The Catamounts are 4-26 in their last 30 games, and their last 4 games against FBS opponents had a combined final score of 214-26. North Carolina's Sam Howell didn't even play in the second half of last year's game against WCU, and he still finished with nearly 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. Oklahoma, big win here. 63-9. Boomer Sooner all over Western Carolina. 7 o'clock game over on ESPN. And this is the first of what I'm going to call 2 sleeper matchups here. We got the number 15 Texas Longhorns squaring off against our good friend State of Sorrel's Arkansas Razorbacks at Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium in Arkansas. 7 o'clock. This will be over on ESPN. And on the call for that one will be Joe Tessitore, Greg McElroy, and Katie George. And Texas opening up as a 7-point favorite. So Michael Bullock, interesting matchup here. Number 15 Texas heading to Arkansas.
Yeah, this should be an interesting matchup. And but before I get into that the Dallas Cowboys just kicked the field goal, and they have just taken the lead 29-28 with just under a minute and a half to go in this one. Tampa Bay will get the ball with 1 timeout left. Oh my goodness.
I think they left too much time. I think Dallas left too much time. Look
Agreed.
Who's on the other end.
Yeah.
It's Brady. Yep. He relishes those moments. So
don't say it's over yet.
It's not over.
Talking to you, Derek Ferreira.
Yeah. All right. Oh, he just.
Wow. All right. Shots fired.
That's how you really feel, man.
No. I'm just saying. That's...
You're just saying? My foot. That was shots fired. I'm not saying any more than that.
Yeah, that was a shot being fired.
Fair enough. But we know how Derek is about. Anyway. We know how he is about the Dallas Cowboys. So that's all there is to it. So
yeah, but let's get into it,
guys. That's all I'm saying. Don't get too excited, Cowboy fans. So, but anyways, Bullock, get back to you with Texas and Arkansas.
Yeah, let's get into this, and I'll keep you guys updated if something happens here. So, Yeah, this is a sleeper matchup. I mean, people were saying that Texas should have no problem here, but I think Arkansas could definitely give this Texas team some fits here. And yeah, I mean, Arkansas will hang right in there, but in the end, I think Texas is basically going to pull away. So I got the Texas Longhorns winning this one, and I think it's going to be a sleeper matchup, like you said, Florio. So there's really nothing more to say. I give it to you.
Yeah, there's another sleeper matchup that we're going to get into in just a little bit, but Texas and Arkansas. I mean, we must point out that the Longhorns were impressive in that 38-18 victory over then-ranked Louisiana against a team that brought back just about everyone from a 10-win season. Texas' young core of quarterback Hudson Card, running back Bijan Robinson, and wide receiver Jordan Whittington flourished. The defense wasn't too shabby either, which is where the Longhorns have struggled in recent years. Now they take that show on the road with hopes of stifling another dual-threat quarterback. Arkansas's KJ Jefferson didn't throw it well against Rice, but he did rush for 89 yards and a pair of touchdowns, containing that Razorbacks rushing attack and taking advantage of an Arkansas defense that allowed nearly 200 rushing yards per game in 2020 will be the keys to another semi-convincing Texas victory. I think Arkansas will give them some fits, but I think Texas will pull away late. So I got Texas winning this one 42-27. So MF, Texas and Arkansas. What you want to talk about a sleeper matchup? Whoa.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right about it. I think Arkansas is going to give them, at least they're going to give them a little bit of some trouble for at least a half. But Texas is just going to be a little too strong, a little too good. Look, Texas made me pay. Texas made me eat my words about a week ago because of the fact that we were thinking, oh my goodness, Texas in their first matchup, were they going to look good? What were they going to look like? And Texas won. They won convincingly. So that's for them sticking it to me, basically saying, you had our backs a year ago, and you try to turn your back against us when we Louisiana Lafayette. Here's for you, Fletcher. Take it, take this. So, hey, bad performance, bad loss, nothing more to say. I can't punish that. So, yeah, big win for them. Nothing more to add. And, yeah, Texas should get the job done again. So, Florio, it's yours.
All righty. And next up, well, we got the number 18, the now number 18 Wisconsin Badgers, and they're going to be at home once again. They'll be at Camp Randall Stadium in Madison under the lights this time, and they're going to be squaring off against Eastern Michigan. 7:00 kickoff over on Fox Sports 1, FS1. Dan Hellie and Robert Smith will be on the call, and Wisconsin opening up as a 26-point favorite. So I believe I start this one. So let me find this one. Okay. Okay. In each of its 6 games played last fall, Eastern Michigan allowed at least 210 passing yards and at least 190 rushing yards. No time like the present for Wisconsin, which has been held below 370 yards of total offense in each of its last 6 games. To right the ship on offense, the Wisconsin to reach the college football playoff preseason prediction by most experts already looks bad, but it'll look super duper awful if Graham Mertz can't even get rolling against this defense. Wisconsin should have a nice bounce back here, 38-9, 38-9, Wisconsin all over Eastern Michigan. So MF, you want to talk about coming out with the tiki torches and the pitchforks by Clemson? You know Wisconsin's going to do the same thing after they got embarrassed by Penn State last week.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. They had the crowd, they had the excitement. Did you see that fourth quarter when they started doing jump around? And did you see that moment? Everybody was getting into it. Gus Johnson bobbing his head, feeling the music. The All-American girl, Jenny Taft. Yo, get down with your bad self, baby girl.
Hey, now.
Oh, my goodness. She was feeling it. Everybody was feeling it in the building.
Absolutely.
So no, without a doubt, this was as good of a battle that you could talk about. And I don't know. There's really nothing more to add here. So, yeah. Great. I think Wisconsin will bounce back. They'll get a big win here. Nothing more to add. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm with you, Fletch, on this one. I mean, Wisconsin's looking for a major bounce back after getting embarrassed by Penn State last week, and I do expect them to basically get the job done. Yeah, I got Wisconsin winning this one here. They will bounce back in a big way, and boy, Florio, as I'm watching right now, TB12 might be doing it again. I mean, 14 seconds left, and I mean
I'm
he's got the
sorry.
team.
I'm sorry. I got to call PI. Chris Godwin got away with an offensive pass interference. That was
And look like me.
arms extended, pushing the guy down. I'm sorry. If the Cowboys have a gripe, this is a gripe. They might have just got screwed on a no call by the referees because that looked like offensive PI, Bullock.
Well, I'm not going to deny it, but I mean, you know what the Bucks offense. I mean, as any good team would do, they'll take advantage of a situation. If the penalty doesn't get called, then you got to go with it. So,
I know Cowboy fans are gonna gripe about this. If they lose that
oh, and
game, they're gonna go back and they said that was an offensive, that was PI, that should have been pass interference. And you know what? I hate to say this, they got an argument because that looked like arms extended. That should have been called. That was
I'm
all,
with you.
That was all PI.
What? Yeah. What says you, Florio?
I agree. I mean, but then again, it's the Brady treatment. He got the same thing in New England. Now he's saying it. Now he's getting it again in Tampa.
Yeah, I could agree with that. But if you're Dallas, man, to come into this game and play the way you did, and if this is the way you lose, oh, that's a rough way to go. But then again, hold on. So
36-yard field goal attempt with 7 seconds left. So, Cowboy fans, you better hope he misses it.
Ryan Suckup for the win.
For the win. And he got it. As Rich Eisen would say.
Boy, you made that sound lifelike, Bullock. Just like with the Matt Riddle bro on Raw. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what Rich Eisen would say over on the NFL Network.
Absolutely.
And of course in his days in Sports Center.
I'm aware of that. Yeah, I know.
But 2 seconds left. You never know. We've seen crazier things happen before, and
this is true.
We'll wait and see. So, Florio, let's get to your thought.
I believe I started off on that one. I think.
All right.
But you got Wisconsin, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So let's move on now, and this is the other big sleeper game of the week. The number 22 Miami Hurricanes, the Miami, Florida Hurricanes, the U, their home opener, Hard Rock Stadium, Miami, Florida, 7:00 over on ESPN University, and they're going to be squaring off against some old friends of MF and Bullocks, Appalachian State. Sleeper game right here, folks. This will be over on ESPN University. Clay Matvick and Rocky Boyman will be on the call, and Miami opening up as a 9-point favorite. So it's only fitting MF starts on this because MF, not just a Michigan guy, he's also a Miami U guy as well. So MF, here's another case of tiki torches and pitchforks, because Miami, after they got manhandled and absolutely buried by Alabama, they're going to want to take it out on App State.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're going to be very upset about the way that they played. They got embarrassed. Offensively, defensively, they just did not show up. But it's Alabama. That was Alabama. You kind of expected it. Now you're going up against Appalachian State. You're going to play a lot more better type of a performance more than anything else. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But I got App State winning, and I got Miami winning. App State, what the hell am I doing? I got Miami winning. and this one should be pretty easy. So nothing more to say. Yeah, Bullock is yours.
Yeah, yeah. I basically got Miami winning this one as well. You know that they're going to be. That's another team that's looking for some payback after last week after the way they lost to after getting embarrassed by the Crimson Tide of Alabama. But then again, every team gets embarrassed by them. So yeah, I got the U winning this one. So all right, last play here, and and the Buccaneers survive. So oh man, all I can say
Oh
is
boy.
Dallas Cowboy fans, they're gonna go on a freaking tirade, and Derek Ferreira. Oh, don't be surprised if that happens.
Oh, it's going to be an epic tirade. There's no doubt about that. So,
Yeah, but like Fletch says, I mean, Derek has a right to be upset.
of course he does. Absolutely, he does. So,
But
normally
either
we
way,
dread it. Normally we dread it. Normally we dread it. Normally we dread it. But I think in this case, I think we'll give him a pass on this one. So,
but
but
either way you see it, TB12 has done it again.
what else is new, right? What else is new? So,
Well, just for a different team, obviously.
of course. So, 31-29, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeat the Dallas Cowboys. I'm sure we'll have a lot more to say on this on Saturday night for the season premiere of NFL Saturday. But even with that that BS no call at the end, this was still a 5-star classic, chock full of the absolute finest Shakespearean drama. And like I said, if first game out, we get a game like this, and if we get more games like this each and every week, it's not only going to be the biggest NFL season, it's going to be the greatest one. So we are off and running, guys. That's all there is to say on that. So what a battle. So great game, 5-star classic, even with that BS no call, but still it is what it is. So, but anyways, Miami will probably still hang on to a spot in the 21 to 25 range of the AP top 25 after that. Well, they still hung on after that. They still had a spot even after that 44-13 loss to number 1 Alabama. But at least it gives us all right. Miami's De'Ara King did complete 76.7% of his pass attempts against an excellent Crimson Tide defense. And though he didn't do much running, 5 positive rushes for a total of 31 yards and 4 sacks for a loss of 21 yards, that appeared to be much more a product of Alabama's defense than any lingering effects from the torn ACL. Appalachian State is a mighty fine Group of 5 team with a dominant rushing attack that doesn't get enough national attention year after year. But Cullen be skeptical that it'll be able to contain a healthy dual-threat Heisman candidate. I think App State's going to give them some fits, but I think Miami will ultimately get it done. I'm going to go with the U to win this one, but closer than you think. 35-28 Miami over Appalachian State. So not much more to say. 5 games left. Let's get into the first of our 2 7:30 kickoffs. This one will be over on ESPN Plus. The number 20, back in the top 25, the Ole Miss Running Rebels, or just the Rebels. The Rebels of Ole Miss, and they're going to be at home against the Governors of Austin Peay at Vaught Hemingway Stadium at Hollingsworth Field in Oxford, Mississippi. ESPN Plus is where you can find this one. And on the call for that one, it will be, well, actually, do I have an announcer thing here? I think I do. Hold on. Maybe I surpassed it. Let's see. Ole Miss. I don't think I have no, I don't see I don't have an announcer set up here. I apologize for that. So, but it's on ESPN Plus for those of you who are looking for it. So, so not much more to get into here. So, so I believe it's Michael Bullock who will be starting off on this one. So, so Michael Bullock, number 20 Ole Miss at home against Austin Peay. and I don't believe there's a spread, or is there? No spread. But you got to imagine Ole Miss has got to be a sizable favorite.
Yeah, Ole Miss is definitely a sizable favorite. I got them winning this one in the laugher over Austin P. So Florio, what's yours?
Yeah, it's going to be Ole Miss. There is no question about that. Just trying to find my notes on this one. Austin P has played 20 games against FBS opponents since the beginning of the 2010 season. The Governors lost each of those games by double digits, and the average score was 49.5 to 9.6. And it's not like they've been getting served up on a silver platter to Alabama, Clemson, or Ohio State. Only 5 of those 20 games were against ranked opponents, and only one, Georgia in 2018, was ranked in the AP Top 10. So, no, I'm not worried about the short turnaround for Ole Miss after its Monday night victory over Louisville. The Rebels should score at will in this one, perhaps with Matt Corral having a repeat of what he did last fall against Vanderbilt, 31 of 34, 412 yards, 6 touchdowns, or even South Carolina, 28 of 32, 513 yards and 4 TDs. Big game for that young man. Ole Miss rolls 58-13 over Austin PMF.
Ole Miss, nothing more. Florio, go.
Fair enough. And 4 games left. Let's get to the other 7:30 kickoff. The number 24 North Carolina Tar Heels home opener, Kenan Memorial Stadium, and they're going to be hosting Georgia State, and this game will be over on the what's called ACC RSNs. That's where you'll find this one. Tom Wormy and James Bates will be on the call. And North Carolina opening up as a 25.5-point favorite against Georgia State. So, once again, the theme once again, of course, is coming with the tiki torches and the pitchforks after getting embarrassed. North Carolina's first game without Javonte Williams, Michael Carter, Daz Newsome, and De'Ami Brown did not go according to plan. Sam Howell threw 3 interceptions and was sacked 6 times in a loss to Virginia Tech. Suffice it to say, this offense has work to do. However, facing Georgia State's defense should help immensely. The Panthers allowed 43 points in a loss to Army last weekend. This after giving up almost 275 passing yards a game in 2020. Time to find out who the Tar Heels have at receiver aside from Josh Downs. North Carolina rolls 45-10 MF.
Total agreement. I'm going to go with North Carolina as well. I think they're going to bounce back. I think they felt like they let one get away the last time out. I think they'll bounce back and they'll get a big win here. So, yeah, give me North Carolina. So, Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I got North Carolina winning this one, and I expect them to bounce back after that loss. So yeah, I mean, there's really nothing more to add to it. So, Florio, it is yours.
3 games left, guys. 3 games left. And they're of the late night variety. First up will be a 10:15 kickoff on ESPN. It's the Holy War. The number 21 Utah Utes. They're going to be squaring off against the Cougars of BYU, Lavelle Edwards Stadium in Provo, Utah. This game will be over on ESPN. And on the call for that one, it'll be Dave Fleming and Rod Gilmore. And the spread favors Utah. Utah opening up as a 7-point favorite. So, MF, Utah and BYU, the Holy War. Who you got?
I got Utah. I think Utah is going to get the big win here. I think they're just destined for a win here. Don't sleep on BYU. This is a really good team. But I think Utah got the weapons that they need to get over it. Utah wins the Holy War, in my opinion. This is going to be close to 31-28. Utah knocks off BYU. Bullock?
Yeah, I got Utah winning this one as well. I mean, BYU is definitely going to give them some fits, but I see them pulling away from it at the end. So Utah wins. Florio, go.
I agree. Can BYU adjust to life after Zach Wilson? New quarterback Jaron Hall was adequate, 198 passing yards, 36 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns in the opener against Arizona. But that win over a team now on a 13-game losing streak was hardly a suitable litmus test for facing a usually excellent Utah defense. Utah has won 9 consecutive games in this Beehive State rivalry, though 8 of the last 10 in the series have been decided by 8 points or fewer. Baylor transfer Charlie Brewer is going to eclipse 10,000 career passing yards in the first half of this game, and then he will guide the Utes to another narrow victory over BYU. So I got Utah winning as well, 27-24. Utah over BYU, 2 games left. Both 10:30 kickoffs, and this is very rare we see this, guys. A 10:30 kickoff on Fox, of all things. Yes, it's because of a very special Major League Baseball game with the New York Yankees and the New York Mets. Obviously, the 20th anniversary of 9/11. MF and I, we're going to be all over that because, that's going to be an emotional night. But anyways, 10:30 kickoff on Fox. Another good one here. The number 14 USC Trojans back at home once again at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. They're going to be hosting the Stanford Cardinal over on Fox. Tim Brando, Spencer Tillman, they will be on the call. And USC opening up as a 17-point favorite. So I believe this one goes to Michael Bullock. So Bullock, Stanford, USC in the Coliseum. Your thoughts?
I think, I got USC winning this one. Stanford, they could possibly hang around, but I just think, at the end, they are at home. I got the USC Trojans winning this one. So, Florio, it's yours.
Yeah. Let me see. What do I have here? All right. Stanford has won 8 of the last 13 games in this Pac-12 rivalry, but this might be the worst that Stanford has been since that stretch began in 2009. The Cardinal managed just 7 points and 233 total yards in a 24-7 loss to Kansas State. They couldn't run the ball at all, and it's still unclear who their primary quarterback is, as Jack West and Tanner McKee split those duties in week 1. To be fair, let's point out that Stanford had a similarly miserable start to the 2015 season, losing 16-6 to unranked Northwestern before a road win over then number 6 USC 2 weeks later. However, Christian McCaffrey is not walking through that door. Heck, early returns suggest USC has a better running game than Stanford does, and we already know the Trojans have a Heisman contender at quarterback in Keaton Slovis. USC, they'll pull away and they'll win this one comfortably. 38-17, USC over Stanford. MF?
Yeah, I got in this matchup. I think it's pretty easy. It's going to be pretty comfortable, to say the very least. It's going to be one of those battles that it could be one of those where it's early in the game. It looks like it's going to be an interesting matchup, but then once it starts getting deeper, like we said, getting into the muddy waters, as we would say, I think SC's going to start to impose their will. So I got USC winning. Anthony, final game of the week.
And that final game of the week will be a 10:30 kickoff over on ESPN2. The number 23 Arizona State Sun Devils. They're at their home once again, the legendary Sun Devil Stadium, Frank Cush Field in Tempe, Arizona. And they're going to be hosting the Runnin' Rebs, the Runnin' Rebels of UNLV. And on that call, it will be Beth Mowins with Kirk Morrison. And Arizona State opening up as a 34-point favorite. Wow. But anyways, just give me a second here. Okay. Just trying to find this one. It's going to be Arizona State. There's no doubt about that. UNLV has lost 21 consecutive games against ranked opponents by a margin of at least 17 points. Although the last time the Rebels beat a ranked opponent, it was a road win over number 15 Arizona State in September of 2008. Don't expect lightning to strike twice, though. The Rebels just lost a home game to Eastern Washington, after all. Arizona State rolls 52-13. MF?
Arizona State. Bullock?
Yep, I'm in agreement here. So, there's nothing more to say. Florio? Let's put a bow on this.
Yes, sir. And that will put the bow on this week 2 edition of College Football Thursday. And gentlemen, next week, Bama and Florida. Are you ready? Oh boy, is that going to be a hell of a lot of fun next week for us on this program. So there you have it. Tomorrow night, we'll next see you tomorrow night for the Cerebral Smack Talk over on MF's channel, Brace Fan 95. Our new start time, 11 p.m. Eastern. For the big one, Friday Night SmackDown, Madison Square Garden, and MF. We just added another big one to it. Usos, Street Profits for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. That's official. So you got that. You got Rollins and Edge and that SummerSlam return bout. Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair with the contract signing. And, of course, Brock Lesnar. That all goes down tomorrow night. We'll review all of that. Friday Night SmackDown. We'll also get into AEW Rampage, Pac and Andrade El Idolo, the big one there. The match that we should have had it all out, but we didn't get. So, and I believe that'll be all for that. Saturday night, the season premiere of NFL Saturday. You know we're going to have a lot to say about that Cowboy-Buccaneer game. No doubt about that. And we'll get into all of the other Week 1 games. And then we do it all again. Monday night, Ridiculously Raw. Wednesday night, Mayhem. This program next week with Alabama and Florida, the headliner. The SEC on CBS, oh, by the way. I said we couldn't make that thing any even bigger. So that's all there is to say there. So until tomorrow night for the Cerebral Smack Talk over on MF channel, Brace Fan 95, it's Anthony Floyo here for good old MF Michael Fletcher. And in spirit, Michael Bullock, Edie Woodson, and I'm sure after the night, a very angry Derek Ferreira. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw it up, Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed Friday. And until tomorrow night for the Cerebral Smack Talk you've been watching. Strictly Sport, Week 2 of Strictly Sports College Football Thursday right here on the Zone 25 on YouTube and Streamer.com. For everybody who's been a part of this one. For now, Anthony Floyo, so long. Bye, everybody. Bye.